Of all the brewers in the world, none are more famous than the legendary brewer, Josef Bugman. To say that the dwarfs merely liked their beer is an understatement. They take it very seriously indeed, almost like an art form, and the Bugmans were no different. Their brews were famed across the known world, where humans and dwarf alike craved a drink from the most renowned brewery in the world. Where the famous Bugman Sextuple X and Troll brews are created. But let us not get ahead of ourselves. The Bugman line is quite ancient indeed, having a completely different surname back in older times, a name unknown to any without access to the ancient Dawi records. Originally from the dwarf clan Dragonback, they made their home in the now fallen hold of Ekrund. It is speculated that after the fall of Ekrund, the family, which would eventually be known as Bugman, emigrated and settled within the dwarven Karaks in the Grey Mountains. It is written in ancient texts that the Bugmans were there and indeed helped with the founding of the famed Karak Norn. And there they stayed until the birth of Zamnil Bugman. For the dwarf wished to make a name for himself, specifically in the art of brewmaking. Leaving the safety of the Karak to find his fortune, Zamnil settled within the lands of the Empire, where he built a humble brewery. Dwarfs and humans alike would enjoy his strong brews for many years. He was famous for exactly what he wanted to do in life, a rare occurrence in the Warhammer world. In an effort to market himself better to the local humans, Zamnil came to the conclusion that changing his name to something more akin to the local humans may see increased sales within the Empire, and thus from henceforth he was known as Samuel Bugman, a tradition which continued with his soon-to-be-born son. It is unknown if young Josef was ever given a proper Khazalid name, as it was never recorded. A very strange occurrence, as dwarfs are known for recording practically everything. Josef would grow up in the brewery, learning from and helping his father. Eventually, Samuel would pass away, and Josef, seeing great pride in his father's business, took over. While Bugman's brewery was successful before, Josef's superior skill made it even more so. Before long, the roads to many imperial cities and dwarf Karaks were littered with caravans transporting the brewery's goods. As the years passed, so did his fame grow. Demand for Josef's special brews grew larger and larger, and thankfully, due to his reputation, many dwarves from the Grey Mountains came to the brewery to seek their fortunes. Before long, the humble brewery was now a small settlement of Dawi. Naturally, the more famous Bugman's brewery grew, the more people seek to steal his famed drinks. Many raiders and thieves attempted to take the brewery for themselves, but the resilience of dwarfs and their stubbornness to protect that which is theirs saw the invaders repelled all the time. That was until a particular goblin war boss emerged. Git Guzzler, the leader of the Troll Beaters, and a number of smaller goblin tribes had been growing in power ever so slightly over the years. Like many other greenskins, Git Guzzler wished to be the biggest and the strongest. And in a fungus-induced trance, he learnt about Bugman's brewery. Knowing about the potency of Bugman's brews, Git Guzzler wished to acquire the famed beverages. Believing that he may bribe the other tribes with these drinks into joining his mighty war, to increase his strength and to rival even that of Grom the Paunch. Git Guzzler, as can be expected of greenskins, was quite determined. Time and time again, his warriors would lead skirmishes against Josef and his garrisons. Shipments would be raided, crops destroyed, but still the dwarfs repelled them. It was only when Josef had been away, personally escorting one of his shipments, when the greenskins unleashed their full might. hordes of rampaging greenskins laid waste to the brewery, and while the Dawi stood strong, they were overwhelmed. Unfortunately, the small settlement of dwarfs was no match for the sheer numbers of goblins and orcs. Josef returned home only to find his family's brewery destroyed, its defenders slaughtered, and the brews stolen. Josef and his companions would watch as their legacy was destroyed, and in their anger, they swore an oath of vengeance. Git Guzzler's horde would be long gone, but Josef spoke. We chase down one tribe, kill him, then move on to the next. From then on, Josef and his companions would hunt down greenskin tribes. He was long past hunting down those who destroyed his brewery. Now every tribe should be destroyed. The greenskins were destructive and threatened the world itself, and now they should be eradicated. Josef would not see rest until each and every greenskin lay dead. His quest was not an easy one, yet he would not be stopped. Even during the end times, where the world itself was seeing its end, Josef would join his fellow Dawi in repelling the invaders from the north, the greenskins to the south, and the undead shambling horrors of Nagash. At one point, he comforted his High King, saying, as long as there are mountains, there will always be dwarfs beneath them. And as the world saw its final days, Josef would act as a shield bearer for the famed White Dwarf. It can be assumed that he perished within battle, or when the world finally gave way, his life was ended then. But with that, my friends, we've come to the end of our lore video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, might I suggest giving the video a like, or even subscribing to the channel, as it really does help us out. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you all again very, very soon.